If you were a swim coach, you might be interested in getting the best performance possible out of your swimmers. So we're going to take a look at how to perform an ANOVA analysis to determine if the amount of time a week spent practicing or training is a statistically significant factor in overall swim times. We have previously discussed setting up hypothesis statements for a t-test. Now we will expand that to using an ANOVA test. The process will be very similar. What we have here in SPSS is data related to swimmers. This data outlines the amount of time they spent practicing. Group 1 practiced less than 15 hours a week. Group 2 practiced 15 to 25, and Group 3 practiced 25 and over. In the next column is their 100-yard swim time. And the coach would like to know, is the time they spend training statistically related to their 100-yard swim time? Let's set some hypothesis statements up. In Microsoft Word, we're going to start with writing our verbal statements, or writing it out in words. I'm going to write the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. Keeping in mind that the null hypothesis deals with no significant effect, or all groups are equal. When writing this for a t-test, we had two groups. The only difference for the ANOVA case is we have more than two groups. It could be 3, 4, 5, or even more. In this case, we have three groups. So we will write our hypothesis statement as the mean 100-yard swim time is the same for practice group 1. And I'm going to be clear about what practice group 1 is. Less than 15 hours a week, which is equal to practice group 2, 15 to 25 hours per week, which is equal to practice group 3, more than 25 hours per week. That tells me all three groups are equal, the null hypothesis. There is no relationship. Now I can be smart when writing the alternative and just copy my verbiage, paste it in for the alternative, and change this slightly. When we write an alternative hypothesis for an ANOVA case, we cannot use a specific case, less than or greater than. We are limited to what we call a two-tailed test, or the not equal case. So I'm going to take a look and say the mean 100-yard swim time is not the same for practice group 1, which is not equal to practice group 2, which is not equal to practice group 3. Next, we're going to write this statistically. I'm going to go up in Microsoft Word and insert an equation. We talked last week about writing the symbols out using the script function, so I will choose the script and then the subscript to write my HO. Let's put that in the box there. There we go. And we will find the symbol for mean up in my math symbols box. There it is. I'm going to turn this into a subscript so I can indicate group 1. I can highlight that and turn it into a subscript, even if I don't choose that option first, is equal to mean 2, which is equal to mean 3. Now you notice I did not clearly indicate what the groups are, because I have indicated those already in the verbal representation of this hypothesis. Now I'm going to work smart, not hard, and copy and paste this and use it as a template to write the alternative, changing my H0 into a 1 and my equal signs into not equal signs, which you will also find in the math symbols box at the beginning. They don't want to replace the entire equation, just part of it. And then we'll replace the last not equal sign. When you state your hypothesis, you want to do this two ways, verbally and mathematically. And be sure you are clear what the groups are and what mathematical comparison we are doing. In this case, equal and not equal. Now you're ready to start the SPSS work.